My name is Emma. This is the story of my first job interview in English. For a long time, I wanted a better job. I wanted to work in an international company. But there was one big problem. The interview was in English. When I read the email, my hands started shaking. I felt excited. And I felt scared. I said to myself, my English is not good enough. I thought about saying no. I thought about giving up. But then, I asked myself a question. If I don't try, what will happen? The answer was clear. Nothing will change. So I decided to try. Every day, I practiced English. I practiced in the morning. I practiced at night. I practiced in my room. I talked to myself. I asked questions. And I answered them. Tell me about yourself. My name is Alex. I am a hardworking person. Why do you want this job? I want to grow. I want to learn. I want to improve my skills. My sentences were simple. Sometimes they were wrong. But I continued. I practiced in front of the mirror. I practiced while walking. I practiced before sleeping. The day of the interview arrived. I woke up early. My heart was beating fast. My stomach felt tight. I wore clean clothes. I looked at myself in the mirror. And I said, you can do this. When I arrived at the office, I sat in the waiting room. There were other people. Everyone looked confident. I felt small. I felt nervous. Then my name was called. I walked into the room. The interviewer smiled and said, hello. I said, hello. Nice to meet you. My voice was quiet, but it was clear. The interviewer asked the first question. Tell me about yourself. For 1 second, my mind went empty. But then, I remembered my practice. I spoke slowly. I used simple words. My name is Emma. I have experience in this field. I like learning new things. The interviewer listened and nodded. Question by question, I answered. Sometimes I paused. Sometimes I made mistakes. But I did not stop speaking. I realized something important. The interviewer was not looking for perfect English. They were listening to my ideas. At the end, the interviewer said, thank you for coming. I stood up. And I smiled. When I left the building, I felt proud. I did not know the result. But I knew one thing. I tried. That day, I learned a lesson. You don't need perfect English to succeed. You need courage. You need practice. And you need to start. That was my first job interview in English. And it changed me forever.